listening to the Betmaker Show. This is the BMW Championship and the Fedex Cup Playoff Betting Odds preview for Monday, August 13th, 2019. And now, live from Las Vegas, the host of the Betmaker Show, Brian Blessing.
All right, folks, absolutely one of our favorite segments when we talk golf. It's the BMW Championship in Chicago and the Fedex Cup. We're going to talk about that with our good pal Cam Stewart, who should be fresh as a daisy off a relaxing vacation. How you feeling, pal?
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty fresh, Brian. Yeah, looking after my brother's kids. Uncle Cam. Now 2 against 1. Yeah, trust me, it's a lot of things going on. There was no like relaxing at the beach and stuff. Hey, God, take me. Yeah, let's go play some pool. I'll tell you, man, it was absolutely nuts. The worst thing about the trip, though, Brian, I'm a bigger man, but I'm not completely huge. But they had one of those parasailers on the lake. And me and my brother were going to go. So the combined weight is 400.
The thing you get off the ground?
I go, dude, can you just don't worry about the specs? He goes, do you want to go through my boat? I go, not really. It looks very expensive. But anyway, I'm 280 and he's 270. You do the math, 550. It's more than 400. So we would have basically been up in the sky, snap, and dropped 100 feet to our death. So we didn't do that, but the kids did. Good trip, Brian. Had a little piece of Patrick Reed last week in some matchup bets, too. We could have do more. We got to say this. When he went technical, things went really bad for him. He was a field player, right? Remember what happened? That's what he said. He goes, I'm going back to my routine. I'm going to do things my way, my little helicopter move. And you know what? Not listening to people. And now the results are in. A couple great weeks, and he closes the door. We didn't have our radar on Harold Varner. A nice participation from him. He had a good tournament.
Answer.
And Abraham, you got the answers. I don't know what's up with this guy, but he has to be on our radar. Abraham Answer is one of those guys that's kind of lingering around, and you'll get a nice price. But now the field has been whittled down to 70. Medina, a course known for majors, Brian, should be a lot of fun at the BMW this week.
Well, the one thing you got to know, point structure quadrupled. So Reed wins. All of a sudden, look out. He's there. He's already there. Going to be in the top 30. This is, by the way, a field of 70 as they whittle down. And anybody that wins this puts themselves in position to win $15 million at the FedEx Cup Championship at Eastlake. A win gets you, basically get you 2,000 points. You're going to be top 5, and you got a chance for the big enchilada. So there's a lot of motivation here, but you can literally, anybody, again, Cam, anybody you're playing that's a price play in this event, you've got to also put some money on them for the FedEx Cup, because if they win here, they vault into the top 5, and unless something unforeseen happens, basically, Cam, they could be just playing in a tournament inside itself, playing 4 other guys to win the FedEx Cup. So you're nuts not to play a player this week, but also put a little bit on them for the FedEx Cup.
Couldn't agree more. I kind of regret it, Brian. We talked about Reed a little bit the last time we were there, but, we mentioned other guys like Molinari, some guys, some good, some bad in that tournament too. A couple. It surprises me. This is the problem that I'm having with these can't miss guys. And I talk about the get along gang. Like, what are these guys doing to close out tournaments now? It's unbelievable. You're seeing guys like Abraham Answer. You're seeing guys that are off the radar, like Harold Varner. Where are these guys that we talk about? Other than, even DJ Brian. You've seen Dustin Johnson. This guy can't hit a fairway anymore. I'm really, really shocked at some of these guys. Rory McIlroy can't put it together for 4 rounds. Great player, bombs it better than anybody. His wedge game is probably worse than yours, Brian Blessing. Inside 150 feet, what is he doing? Putting from 30 and 40? Hell, you go to Buffalo and kick ass in your tournament there. You got a better short game than that. This is the thing. The guy's hitting at 350 off the tee, and he should be nutting it within 10 feet every time, and he's not. I'm going to look at some other bombs this week. Maybe Jason, you got coke, you got crack, you got coke rack. I don't know what you do with Jason Coke rack. He's a mixture of 2 very, very dangerous drugs. But at 66-1, I will tell you one thing, man. He's getting closer to Patrick Reed. He's 22-1 this week. But what do we do with the favorites this week, Brian? That's the question. One of them will probably do very, very well. But, when you look at the prices for these guys, they're hard to trust at these prices. They're not good enough.
And Cammy, while we're doing this, I will tell you, apps are a wonderful thing. And just on the premise of us talking it out and haven't even gotten into who we like this week, I just did it. You talk about a terrific bet. I got Patrick Cantlay at 20-1 to win this week. So I took a shot with him of the named players. But he resides in 6th, Cam.
Yep.
All right. And you're getting 14-1 to win the FedEx Cup. I just bet Cantlay to win the FedEx Cup. I think Schauffele would be a guy of a similar ilk. But Cantlay is one of these guys, steely-eyed, a top 5 finish here. He's in the top 5, and all he's going to have to do then is win at East Lake. So, I just took a little shot with Cantlay this week. But again, you're getting 14-1 this week and 20-1 to win the FedEx Cup when he's in position to do just that.
I think that's an excellent bet, Brian. It's funny. We looked at Cantlay last week, and he was one of my top picks. What did he do? Tee to green, he was awful. Every other statistic, he was fantastic. It's kind of like the opposite. I'm like, and he was there. If you look at everything that he did, he should have basically been with Patrick Reed winning the tournament. I understand 12th is not bad. Just outside the top 10, I'm expecting a little bit more. But when I look at guys like Rory McIlroy at either 7-1, Brooks Koepka 8-1, John Ramen Noodles at 10. This guy's a powder keg. Look at Rahm too. Like when he gets inside his head, he'll piss away a tournament. Dustin Johnson at 14. Don't like the form. Thomas, not bad, but finished the same as Cantlay. I like Cantlay at 22-1 a lot too. I would not be surprised if he finished top 5 or 1 this week. And you said it. If you're getting a guy at 22, you also have to hammer him in the FedEx Cup, Brian. You know what? Hey, we're Ginger's reading Ginger's mail. I'm going to do the same as you because Patrick Cantlay was on my radar, and I really, really like that pick, buddy. I think that's a real savvy move. I'm not sure about, but conversely, Schauffele is one of those guys. I'm waiting, Brian. He's 33-1 this week, and I'm sick of waiting. I told you. I got home problems. I got a water heater problem. I need to paint my place. Like, these things cost money. I can't keep on dipping into the Xander Schauffele, Hideki Matsuyama fund and put myself on the streets. So I got to tell you something. I got to eliminate some of these guys. At 33-1, it's so intriguing because we know how good he can be, especially in majors and big tournaments in strong fields. But what have you done for me lately, Xander? Not much. At 33-1, I'm probably going to need about 40, 45 to even think about him. Disappointed too many times, Brian.
For outstanding information and special offerings and promotions, we invite you and encourage you to sign up for our newsletter today simply by going to the website at betmaker.com. All right, pal, I'm going to throw 2 at you, and you can have at it, and then let's get what you're thinking. But I will give you a grenade price because, again, these guys can come out of nowhere. The other thing is, guys will be protecting a position, where they stand. There could be something conservative in nature when you're just plotting a course to get to East Lake. When the guys that are coming from off the pace here need the win. So there's a different motivation aspect here because 15 million potatoes next week certainly it gets everybody's attention. He had a win earlier in the year. I'm heartbroken because I played him forever and didn't have him the damn week he won.
Hate that.
But here we go, bud. 48th 2 tournaments ago, 24th this past week. Oh, wait a minute. So if he improved by 24 again, that's a win. CT Pan at 200-1.
Wow, Brian, that's what I like about you, buddy. You're not just throwing rocks. You are throwing boulders and grenades. That's an interesting play with CT Pan. And I find CT Pan's one of those guys, if he gets off to a good start, he can be there in the end. Out of the guys that I'm looking at those type of prices, Wyndham Clark is a guy that's been close before at 175. But I will say this, Corey Connors, the Canadian's playing pretty good golf, Brian, and he's in the same region of CT Pan at around 160, and I found him at 175-1 on another book. So very, very interesting. Yeah, we're going to be dipping a few guys like in that range. Other guys that we've taken this year, Sunjay Im has been close at 80-1. Can he finish? Ben on 80-1. There's a lot of quality golfers now that has been whittled down that you're getting incredible prices for because of this field.
And here it comes, buddy. The one that makes such complete and utter sense to me. He's been a completely different golfer. I still want to throw a bouquet of flowers his way. When he won the Houston Open, I had him at 80 to 1. He shoots a 74, then a 63, gets back in it. And on Friday night, this was last year, he was 60 to 1. I go, what am I missing? I bet him again. And Ian Poulter had to win that tournament to get into the Masters, and he did it. He has been a different golfer. He's sitting just outside the top 30. He played very well in Jersey. And Cam, this is one of the scenes of one of the greatest moments in this guy's career at Medina when he put the European Ryder Cup team on his shoulders and rallied from that 10-6 final day deficit. Poulter couldn't miss a putt. He was absolutely white hot. Something about golf, you know it, when you walk into a place where you've got positive vibes and positive memories, look out. I'm telling you, at 60 to 1, Ian Poulter, he's my top pick in this tournament.
That's an excellent pick, Brian. He's going to make my pack too. I'm probably going to bet 4 guys and then take 2 bombs in a 6-pack and load up probably on the top end. My top pick will be Cantlay, but I will be betting Ian Poulter. I love that price. Hot player, good memories. I'm with you 100%. A lot of these other guys get the headlines. He's in quality form right now too. And you talk about it. Ian Poulter, when his putter's on, he is one of the best in the world. It's Jordan Spieth-like, saving pars from 10, 15 feet consistently. I love Poulter's game, and I'll give you one more. I'm going to play Cantlay. I see him at 25 on one of my sites. That's a pretty good price for him, and we're going to play him in the FedEx. I like Poulter at 60, and the other Brit who took the week off very boldly too. You're playing with a little bit of fire there. Paul Casey is my second pick at 40 to 1. I think Casey is in a good spot this week. I'm looking at other guys' odds. Adam Scott's hot, but Fowler at 28. What's he done? Fleetwood at 28. He's a name. He's very good, but I can't take him at that price. Spieth, too many par putts. It's going to bite him in the ass soon. Schauffele, where have you been? He's a ghost at 33. Finau, you know what I mean? He could play well this week. Who knows? His putter is so cold when it's off. Louis played well, but I look at Paul Casey at 40. Brian, if we can get 45, that would be great. We're going to shop around there. And I love your pick of Ian Poulter. I'm going with 2 Brits this week. Hello. It's Paul Casey and Ian Poulter. 40 and 60. Cheerio. Yeah, cup of tea with you. Spot of tea with these 2 turkeys, but I'm in.
I get it, Cam. I get it. Because you put a number up and it's what the market will bear and how many people pay such close attention to it. You and I have no life and we love doing this.
But it's true.
Yeah. Brooks Koepka literally stood there and told you Sunday after the tournament was over that at the moment he's a spaz. His words. He said, I don't know. It's going left one hole. It's going right the other. I can't make a putt to save my life. I was hot for 4 holes, and then reality kicked in. That's the thing about golf. Guys have a 3 to 5 week form cycle. Patrick Reed could come right back. I agree with you. There's no doubt about it. But Brooks Koepka at the moment, and that's the other thing. He is Robotron, but he's still a human being. Where you expend so much energy, and it is amazing what he does in the majors, there's nothing left in the tank. Now, can he win at East Lake, and summon that again and that focus? Yeah. Sure. But at the moment, 8 to 1, he doesn't know where it's going. Honestly, the Jordan Spieth thing is fun to watch because it's like a car accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're still getting a good number on Spieth because I think the books know, he's really more of a 40 to 1 player, but we'll give you 28 because he saves his ass with his putter so much. That's not going to happen all the time. Double bogeys and triple bogeys will be lingering. No, Brian, I'm looking at this field, and, in the 60 to 1 range, there's a lot of quality guys. Like you talk about Kisner, I told you, I think Kokrak is going to be a play for me. Actually, he's 65. I found him at one book at. What do you think about some other guys? Like looking at a guy like Mark Leishman at 66 or 71 to me is outstanding. Like that guy's a world-class player and he's way back in the pack there. That's kind of interesting.
The other thing, I would throw this at you, bud. I'd be very curious. The big story this week is pace of play, and Koepka has, to his credit, kind of shouldered the load here, saying this is ridiculous. We're out here trying to play and guys are pacing around. Well, there are a number of guys that do this. Well, unfortunately for DeChambeau, he's turned into the focal point of this.
Yep.
Where, first of all, he walks up to Koepka's caddy. He says, if he's talking about me, tell him to say it to my face. Well, wait a minute. Well, you walk up to him and say it to him. So then they had it out. But the DeChambeau, this has turned into this big controversy, and it could go one of two ways. You tell me which way you think it would go. Either he's got a stone in his shoe and he's pissed off and he's going to have a great week, or this thing is going to be in this guy's head. How long am I taking? And it's this massive distraction. And maybe you fade DeChambeau in matchups, and that's maybe one of the safest things you can get all week.
I'm going to say column B, being the scientist that he thinks he is. Ooh, all my clubs are the same length. I'm Bryson DeChambeau. I'm smarter than you. You know what? I'm sick and tired of that guy. I got to be honest with you. I really I'm not a fan of him. I have respect for his game. I think he's a gearbox personally. I talk about the get along gang and crack my jokes, but Bryson DeChambeau is a turkey. And I'll tell you one thing, I think he's actually going to be this week, not play as well. He's the type of guy to freak out. And by the way, if he wants to approach Brooks Koepka with one finger could put that guy in a pretzel and throw him into the woods. So, hey, DeChambeau, be careful who you bark at, because Brooks Koepka will absolutely destroy you. I'd actually, you know what, Brian? Maybe we should have PGA fight cage and put these guys in there and see what would happen. I'd be very interested.
Full contact golf.
Oh, Brooks Koepka, he's the guy I'd be betting on. He looks like Neanderthal, man. He would absolutely punish people. I'm scared of him.
There you have it, some long shot plays. It's the end of the season, but we'll have the President's Cup, and the crazy thing is now with this new format, the way they move the season up, which I think they've done a great job, all of a sudden the 2020 season, Cam, is going to be starting in the blink of an eye, where you get these fall tournaments that actually count for points. They'll come through Vegas. We're going to have lots of chances to talk about golf. So we love doing this with you. And I just wanted to wrap it up going back to your vacation. I'm just trying to envision a game of lawn darts with you and your two nephews. I mean, would it be like them throwing a javelin at your chest?
Very, very accurate, Brian. I got to tell you though, I really got to lay off the butter tarts and the fun. And I tell you, when that guy weighed me for that episode where I was going to be behind the boat, and I was I didn't want to tell you, I'm 283 now. I'm God, I used to play hockey at 210. Did they started off at 10 or 20 at a pound, Brian? But I might switch to Marlboros instead of Pepsis and donuts, because it's killing me.
Maybe you might want to think about a salad when the guy goes and throws in a whole nother Evinrude on the back of the boat.
Yeah, that's the problem. I do eat salad, but you know me, Brian, one of those guys this Caesar dressing, and then you look, oh my God, 200 calories per serving. I just had a whole jar. I might as well have just shotgunned 12 beers. Well, anyway,
it's like the guy that goes to McDonald's and gets 7 Big Macs
Coke
and a Diet Coke.
What a stooge move. That's another thing too. It's really the Diet Coke, that 140 calories going to change your life when you're popping in 4,000. I'm with you, Brian. So who do we like this week? So Cantlay is a guy that we're going to ride. I'm going to ride Paul Casey. I'm going to ride a little sprinkle with Kokrak. And you know what, Brian, just for you, because you're my friend and a fellow ginger, a little CT throw it in the pan at that, 160 or 175? That's a true ball.
And don't forget Poulter. Poulter at 60 to 1 at Medina.
Exactly. Poulter, Casey, Cantlay, Kokrak in the pan. I like it, buddy.
You're the man. It was a fun edition of the Raging Redheads, as I kind of steal your moniker.
Yes. That's the thing, Brian. You know me over time. I'm not really a raging redhead. I get fired up and stuff, but raging's kind of a word. I don't know. We got to come up with something. We'll figure it out, buddy.
The problem is it used to be orange, and now then it went to creamsicle. Now I don't know what. Right. But the bottom line is, we'll come up with some version of the sports gong show or something.
Yeah, we will, buddy. I got to tell you, too, one thing about redheads, despite me, battling weight and stuff, they always say, Brian, redheads are the furthest ones to get gray hair, and you're looking pretty good, buddy. That's the thing. I got a lot of problems, but I still got my hair.
I have porcupine hair. I'll always have hair.
No, you got a great lid. Great lid. Easy to control. Nice for that Vegas heat. It's fantastic.
And watch the professional segue here. Let's put a lid on this segment. It's been a treat. Yes. He's Cam Stewart. I'm Brian Blessing.
Betmaker, let's make some money tonight.
Well, that's the Betmaker show for now. We publish multiple times each week. We'd like to thank you for listening, and if you liked what you heard, please take a moment to leave a rating and review, or subscribe to our show feed, or share our show with a friend or two and help us grow the show. We very much appreciate it. Visit us on the web at betmaker.com, and reminder to sign up for the newsletter. Thanks to our engineer, Darren Vandermolen, and producer, Mike Gallivan. The Betmaker Show is a production of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated. Betmaker is a registered trademark. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of this content without the express written consent of Cardinal Marketing Incorporated is strictly prohibited.
The handicapping and sports odds information contained on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please confirm the wagering regulations in your jurisdiction, as they vary from state to state, province to province, and country to country. Using this information to contravene any law or statute is prohibited. The podcast is not associated with, nor is it endorsed by any professional or collegiate league, association, or team. This podcast does not target and is not intended for an audience under the age of 18. If you think that you have a gambling addiction, stop this podcast now and please seek help.
Gambling and betting on sports is a form of entertainment and should be about having a good time. But when done excessively, it may negatively affect other areas of a person's life, such as their physical and mental health, school or work performance, finances, and or interpersonal relationships. At Betmaker.com and The Betmaker Show, we're concerned about the addiction that gambling may cause, and for this reason, we encourage everyone to practice responsible gambling, an approach to gambling that helps you ensure that it remains an enjoyable activity. Here are the main principles of responsible gambling. Don't think of gambling as a way to make money. Always gamble with money that you can afford to lose. Set limits and stick to them. Never chase losses. Don't gamble when you're depressed or upset, and create a healthy balance. Always be aware of how much time you spend gambling or thinking about gambling. And do not allow gambling to cause you to miss out on time with family and friends or time spent on other activities you enjoy. By following these guidelines, gambling can be a good time and great entertainment. If you feel at any time that your gambling is taking away from important areas of your life, is causing you stress or depression, or is leading to financial losses that are beyond your control, please reach out for help. Learn more at responsiblegambling.org.